Hi, this is the business guy with Asset Protection Planners and Lawyers Limited, and people often ask me, can I put my LLCs into a living trust? So my answer is this: yes, you can put your LLCs into a living trust, but that's not the right question. The question is, should I put my LLCs into a living trust? And the answer is no. And here's the reason why. The reason is because an LLC is an asset protection device. A living trust is not. It's an estate planning tool. So putting the LLC inside the living trust kills half of the LLC's protection. And by the way, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please click the like button below so YouTube will promote this video. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're new here, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that when more videos come out like this, you'll be up to date right away. Here's why a lot of estate planners, a lot of asset protection people get this one wrong big time. With a revocable living trust, the word revocable means changeable. So if you set it up, you can also change it. So you can change the beneficiary to somebody else. Let's say if you have a child that becomes a drug addict and that's going to be a lifelong thing, you think, well, you probably don't want that child to inherit $500,000 of your wealth, right? Because you know what would happen. It would just go straight up their nose if they're into cocaine or whatever it is. So naturally, you're not going to want to encourage that habit and give them a whole pile of money. Even though you love them, they're your child, but it wouldn't be to their best interest to receive a big pile of money, fuel their drug problem. So you're going to take them away as beneficiary, you do some other arrangement. Maybe you will have the trust pay for the rehab. But you can change that and you can incorporate that into the trust. With a revocable trust, you can do that. Now, on the other side, when somebody sues you and somebody gets a judgment against you, then the judge can force you against your will to make changes to that trust. In other words, whatever you have the ability to do personally, in most cases, your creditor can step into your shoes and do the same thing. So that means if you have the ability to change the beneficiary to anybody on the planet, that also means your judgment creditor can jump into your shoes and change the beneficiary of your trust to anybody on the planet. That if it's a revocable trust, okay? Then we set up asset protection trusts where we have third-party trustees. Different story. Not all vehicles are four-wheel sedans. There are motorcycles, they're dump trucks, they're race cars. Not all trusts serve the same purpose. Some vehicles are rockets that go to the moon. Some vehicles are submarines. There are different vehicles for different purposes, and there are also different trusts for different purposes. So not all trusts are the same just because it has the word trust behind it. Okay, now let's look at the protections of an LLC. Somebody sues your business, like your LLC owns rental property, and somebody slips and falls and they sue for more than your insurance covers. Happens every day. The LLC is a lawsuit protection device so that when that lawsuit happens inside the LLC, it can act to protect you from losing your furniture, your house, your car, your personal bank account. So it acts as a shield. The LLC acts as a shield to protect you from losing your personal assets. What if the lawsuit comes from the other direction? You get sued personally. You're driving home on Friday night and you rear in somebody's car and you get sued for more than your insurance covers. Again, that happens every day. With an LLC, it acts as an asset protection device. So there are provisions in the law of most states. In most states, you need to have 2 or more members of that LLC to have the protection from this side of the equation, the personal side. So somebody sues you personally, there are provisions in the law to protect that LLC from being taken away from you and everything inside of it, like the rental property. You have lawsuit protection when the business is sued with an LLC, and then you have asset protection when you're sued personally to protect that LLC from being taken away from you personally, or the things inside of it, such as rental property, stock market investments, for example. You put that LLC into a living trust, and what happens? You're taking away that asset protection, aren't you? See where I'm going with this? Your LLC, somebody sues you personally, it can protect you from having that LLC taken away from you and anything inside of it. But if you put the LLC now inside of a living trust, the judgment creditor can step into your shoes and make you change the beneficiary of that living trust to that judgment creditor, the person who sued you. And now they not only own your living trust and all the assets inside of it, one of the assets inside of it is the limited liability company, isn't it? Now they take your LLC away from you. So that defeats the purpose of the asset protection of an LLC. So that's why it's so important to know these things. And don't just listen to any old asset protection strategy. If somebody recommends you put your LLC inside of a living trust, that's not a very well thought out strategy. So we don't put the LLCs inside the living trust. So there are two solutions. Solution number one, that LLC can go in your will. Yes, it will have to go through probate. Or solution number two, you write a succession plan in the operating agreement of the LLC that says when this member dies, the membership in this LLC goes to, and you can name your children, for example. So you can put the estate planning provisions, the succession plan, into your LLC operating agreement so you maintain the asset protection benefit while you're still alive. So that's the answer to the question that I get so much: can I put my LLC inside of my living trust? And the answer is yes, you can, but the answer is also no, you shouldn't. There are other ways to pass the LLC onto your heirs that doesn't include losing your asset protection. Hope this is helpful. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Thanks for watching. This is The Business Guy.